World leaders have gathered in Osaka for the G20 summit, where the ongoing US-China trade war is expected to be top of the agenda. All eyes are on US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, who are due to meet tomorrow on the sidelines of the summit. And speaking at the opening session of the summit today, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe urged leaders to deliver a strong message to support free, fair and indiscriminate trade.
下方リスクに対処し、必要な行動を取るのが G20 の責務であります。すべての政策手段を用いて成長を実現していくという決意を共有したいと思います。
Our Japanese correspondent Michio Ishida has been following the summit in Osaka. She joins us now for more. So, Mitch, the first day of talks wrapped up, and trade very high on the discussions?
Yes, well, trade was one of the main topics discussed in the first session. And now discussion took place for about 2 hours on trade, investment, and the economy. Now, the Japanese government spokesperson said that some leaders expressed concerns on trade tension, on unfair trade practices, and expressed the need to fight against protectionism. Now, many expressed the need for World Trade Organization reform, for dispute settlement, for transparency, and for rule-making settlement. But they didn't point fingers at a particular country on creating the trade friction. But we didn't actually see an agreement, and we will see how trade, economy, and investment will be reflected in the declaration to be released on Saturday. Now, a declaration was issued on the digital economy. Now, the G20 leaders adopted Mr. Shinzo Abe's proposal for the Osaka track. Now, what this is to promote international policy discussions on rulemaking, trade-related aspects of e-commerce at the WTO, in which ministers will discuss next June. But 3 countries did not sign this declaration, and they are Egypt, Indonesia, and South Africa. And the Japanese government spokesperson said that each country has different positions on this digital economy issue. Concerns were mentioned on the use of the internet, which could link to terrorist involvement, recruitment of radical young people, and funding them. But restrictions, on the other hand, could be a problem because it could violate the freedom of expression and human rights.
Michio, what can we expect then to be on the agenda for tomorrow's meetings?
Okay, well, the remaining topics which are expected to be discussed on Saturday: inequalities, realizing an inclusive and a sustainable world. Now, this includes addressing and creating a strong momentum towards women's empowerment. That's labor participation, education, entrepreneurship. And there will be a sideline event on women's empowerment with the speakers such as Queen Maxima of the Netherlands and U.S. President Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka. Now, climate change was touched briefly in the first session, and it's expected to be discussed further on Saturday, including the environment and energy. Plastic waste is expected to be one of the main topics, as many countries are seeing a flooding of plastic waste into their seashores. And the problem is of industrialized countries sending their waste to developing countries, especially in this part of the world and Asia. And we'll see if the chair, Mr. Shinzo Abe, will be able to discuss with world leaders on how to solve, or at least advance on how to solve this issue. Mr. Shinzo Abe will give a final wrap news conference after all the sessions are over, and other world leaders are expected to speak to media after Mr. Abe does.
All right, many thanks for that update. Michio Ishida speaking to us from the G20 summit in Osaka.